Hey everybody, and welcome to the Double Stuff podcast, where we're double the hosts, double the topics, and double the fun. And I'm Alan.
I'm Sarah.
And I'm Charity.
Today we're talking about board games, just some good old-fashioned,
Unadulterated,
unplugged,
commercial-free,
no electronics required board games.
Well, some of them do have electricity, depending on what the game is.
Oh, Operation.
That's a good point.
Operation.
You got it.
Yep.
And then they have the electronic version of Battleship, which I enjoy.
I haven't played that. I don't think I've even played the regular Battleship.
Oh, that's a good game. That's a good game.
Is that considered a board game, Battleship?
Yes. Here's the thing with Battleship, though, that's kind of limiting, is that it's a two-player game. You can't do like multiplayers.
Yeah.
And that's what I want to talk about first. Do you guys do board games? Do you guys do game nights? What do you guys like to play?
When we were kids, we played a lot of board games. I don't do it as much as an adult, and maybe just because I don't have enough friends to play it with. But, we used to play Monopoly and Scrabble, Chutes and Ladders, Sorry.
What's
the classics?
One game with all the marbles and you pull the sticks out?
Oh, Kerplunk.
Kerplunk.
Oh, yeah.
I kept wanting to say Jenga, and I was like, it's not Jenga.
No, it's not Jenga,
Kerplunk.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I remember we had that game.
Oh, I guess game night would be more, because I know we're focusing on board games, but Cherry was talking about like Jenga. That's not really a board game, but it is a game with participation, which is what you have with a board game.
We played at Town East Mall near the kids section. They have a big like life-size chessboard game that's like on the carpet, and they have a big Jenga game. I don't know if it's still there. That was what, last year, 2 years ago?
That was 2019.
Were you guys in the children's section? Get away, kids! I'm gonna play Jenga.
Well, the funny thing is that's where I went for my birthday, Church.
Well, okay, let's start over. I took her there to get her a gift, and instead of picking out something for her, I said, hey, let's go to the mall. You pick out something you want, I'll pay for it.
Yeah.
But as we worked our way around the circle, we got to the children's section where the games were, and they had the life-size chess and the life-size Jenga, which was fun.
That was pretty cool.
Do you guys play chess?
I have no idea how to play chess. We played checkers with chess pieces, so we just lined it up and like jumped each other with the white and black pieces. And I'm doing that.
And I'm not even that good at checkers either. So I'm not the pinnacle of of that form. I mean, now I've always been curious about how to play chess, but not enough to really.
Yeah.
People don't have I've asked people who know how to play chess to teach me, but they don't have the patience because they're like, okay. Their method of teaching is like, okay, we'll play a game and I'll let you know if you can move your piece here or there. So they're not telling me what to do. So I'm just picking up pieces and I'm like, okay, is that right? Can I do that? And they're like, no, don't do that. Don't you know you can't move the knight here? I'm like, dude, like, let's just play something else.
Yeah, you. That's not a good way. My daughters, they had an after-school program, a chess club, and they've learned to play chess.
Of course they know how to play chess. Why does that not surprise me?
They're pretty good.
No, that's not surprising
But
at all.
one of the things that I was doing in teaching them how to play was you introduce like one character at a time. So we usually we started off with pawns because they can only go diagonal and move up and then take diagonally, and then the king. So we and then we added the queen, and then we added another piece, and that way you can kind of, build on not only knowing what each piece can do, but you're also, it's kind of exciting because you're like, oh, and then this one can do that. Well, that just opens the game up that much more.
That's a good way to teach.
Kind of learn in layers, kind of thing.
Well, yeah, especially when you have all the pieces that behave differently, it can be overwhelming to start out, because when you're talking about like a Sorry, you're talking about Monopoly.
I love Sorry.
Yeah, Sorry's still fun. That's a go-to game. But
you lose some friends over that game, but it's a fun game.
You lose friends over like Monopoly and all those things, man.
Yeah. Well, but it's very intuitive as far as like you learn the rules really quick, and not only that, but Sorry's an interesting game too because it's a card. You pull a card and then you move rather than roll a dice or something like that. Yeah.
Well, that's a nice blend because I think we were also talking about card games too, because when I was younger, so probably more teenager, me, Charity, and Christy, our other sister, we were part of a summer camp, and so I think we got really good at playing Uno because that seemed to be the only card game.
Uno's another game where you can lose some friends, especially if you play stacks rules. And someone puts down a draw 4, and then your person next to you puts down a draw 4, which means the third person has to draw 8
or have to pick up 2, or
there's different rules. This is the other thing about Uno is that everyone's got their own set of rules.
Yes.
And I've seen people comment on like the Uno Twitter page or Instagram page or whatever, and then Uno's like, actually, the rules state blah blah blah, and people are arguing with Uno, saying you don't know the rules. You gotta play this. Like, how are you gonna argue with the very own game like you don't know how to play?
That's true.
People are serious about
It's the same thing with dominoes too. You think it's pretty simple to play, but the same thing. There are different regions, different families. The way that you learn it have different rules. And I have an app that I play dominoes with several people every single day, and I've tried to introduce it to others, and they're like, no, they play it the wrong way. There's no way that I have to start off with a double. That doesn't make sense. You should be able to play whatever you want all the time.
Well, especially with card games, whether it's Uno or poker cards, like if you have a bigger group, you end up using 2 or 3 decks. So, your face cards, there's double or triple, and so it's kind of hard to keep track, or you can stack multiples on top of the other. Because my group of friends, before we all sort of spread out around the country and overseas, we used to get together and we would make homemade pizza, and we would play games or watch a movie or whatever, and we would always play Spoons.
Spoons!
That game is dangerous when we play it because I usually win.
That's only because she annihilates everybody else when she does it.
Disclaimer. You ought to know that when you're playing Spoons, I mean, it's like musical chairs for those who haven't played it.
Gotta go fast.
Yeah, you gotta go fast. You gotta get 4 of a kind and grab a spoon if you have it. If you don't have it and you see someone else grab a spoon, you want to grab a spoon too.
Yeah.
And so you don't want to be the person without the spoon. And so in the end, and there's one spoon on the table and there's 2 people staring at it. It's like the Old West, like we were doing last episode. The wah, wah, wah.
Yeah.
You grab that spoon, and if you grab it by the round end, you have the better grip because the person just has the narrow end. But for some people who don't want to give it up, I have dragged people across the table.
Oh, you do a tug of war?
Oh, yeah.
You gotta make sure it's not plastic spoons because you can cut yourself.
Well, you can cut yourself with anything. I've played it with knives.
Play knives?
I've played knives, forks, spoons, pencils. What else have we done?
All the dangerous scissors.
Razor blades.
Yeah, we've done scissors. Or if you play it and you put the spoons in a different room, and then everybody just gets up and runs across to get a spoon. So that, like we were saying, there's different ways to play. You can pick the dangerous way or the more dangerous way.
Yeah, because you can come over and say, do you want to play spoons? And be like, yeah, that sounds like fun, but you haven't learned Charity's rules. And then she's like, actually, before you got here, I dropped the spoons, at McCarthy Park, and you gotta go there.
Get out, get in the car, zoom.
If you get a ticket, you automatically lose.
That's right.
If you get out of the ticket, the cop lets you go, you automatically win.
It turns into this rat race, right? Well, because the first time we first learned how to play spoons, and we were at another summer camp when we were teenagers. But when I was in college, which is the worst time to do it because you got a bunch of adults playing, and that's when it gets dangerous. A friend of mine was house sitting, a very nice house.
Yeah.
And like nicely, recently polished wooden floors. And so they were like, "Hey, I'm house sitting. Let's come over
and destroy this mansion we're watching."
That's what's up.
So there's about 6 of us there, something like that. And so we were all like, this is the best place to play spoons because our brains hadn't fully developed yet.
Well, yeah.
And so to make it more interesting, first we're doing on the table like, no. We're going to put on the other side of the room like what Cherry did. And because of the slippery floor, we're all going to take our shoes off. So we're going to do and see. And,
it's like you're running in a bowling alley, basically.
Yeah, the floor, like I said, I think they had just polished it. And so the floor was so slick. It's almost like playing shuffleboard with yourself. And you're just...
Nice.
So, and I think that day I was wearing like pantyhose, so I had no traction.
Sarah, take it easy.
So we're like, and then so it was like 2 girls and like 5 guys. So we're like, okay, we're gonna do this. And I forgot who picked it up, and they just take off running. So we're all you got six 20-somethings, and we're all just sprinting down this
Booking it,
house.
sliding for the spoons.
And we're also trying to be like, oh, because there's expensive breakable stuff around.
Don't run into the china cabinet.
Yeah,
Hey,
it was
you
like
were
a,
invited. You don't have any liability.
it was like it was like an obstacle course. It was like, we'll go get it, but see that Ming Voss over there, and you see that statue that's 3,000 years old. So we're like running, trying to run each other
If
over,
you
and
break
also
something, you get an S.
yeah. But it was fun. But those were one of the few times I actually did kind of constrain myself. I was like, I'd rather lose than have a broken vase next to me.
So my friend Natalie, who she's one of my high school friends, she is one of the people that we play the card games together. She sent us this TikTok video, and she said, "This is why we play on the floor, because we don't play at a table anymore, because it's dangerous." And so
Oh, no.
I play this video, and these people are playing spoons, and it gets kind of wild, and the table breaks.
Oh my!
And like breaks in half.
Was it like a glass table?
No, it was a wooden table,
Oh,
but I
wow.
mean,
But
like,
it was so extreme that they actually broke it.
And so, yeah, she was just like, yeah, this is why we sit on the floor now. We play spoons. I was like, yeah, that makes sense.
But I will say, just overall, that's what I miss. Like, I miss being with a group of friends and playing games. I haven't done that since college.
Sure.
And so that's probably why I really don't play games, because I don't really have people to play the games with.
Well, there are places that you can go to jump in, and I don't know if COVID has opened up, but there are usually in like major metropolitans. I don't even know how many there are here in Wichita. I think there are 2, but it's like a coffee shop that caters to people that like to play games, and then you can jump in, jump out.
Like a mixer kind of thing? Something like that?
No, just a place where there's
Like
just
Headshots?
enthusiasts, like headshots.
It's Headshots over on.
I don't know about maybe that's
No,
one too.
that's more of a gamer thing.
I think that's
I
more
was
of a
thinking one
gamer.
that's called like the Goblin or something.
Oh, no,
We'll have to
that one.
fact check this. Don't listen to me. Don't listen to me. But I do enjoy playing games, especially when lately when I can't get the girls to come out of their room or something. We'll do a game night, and it's always one of those. I don't want to play, but as soon as you start playing,
Yeah.
you get into it. That's one of the fun things about opening up. With games, being able to
I don't know if we're
connect.
I don't know if we're the kind of family.
4.
We're not really the kind of family that
Or more.
our family does a lot of things together. But in terms of like, let's all gather us together and play.
We wouldn't
Do you guys
that
take
now.
it personally though? Like,
We
is
did.
that why you
We
guys
did
don't?
when we were little.
We did. We were younger.
Oh, yeah.
We would end up in an argument at some point because someone,
I didn't like losing.
well, you
Nobody
don't like
likes to
losing,
lose.
or even before we get the game Monopoly, I want to be the dog. No, I want to be the thimble.
Yeah.
You fight over the piece.
Over the pieces.
And before the game even started, you're just like, that's it. We're done.
We're done.
not.
Never do
We're
that.
not doing this. So that's sort of how that ended up when we were younger.
Yeah. And in terms of like card, with the exception of Uno and maybe some other ones, Phase 10, that's like Ghetto Fabulous Uno.
Oh yeah, Phase 10's good.
But I never really
Rummy Cube.
I've heard of that one. I don't know if I played that one, but I really haven't played. I didn't really play a lot of card games until we moved to Kansas. I think it was my senior year of high school at the Twilight Zone era of my life. But we learned to play a game called Nerds.
I've never heard of this.
It's I don't remember. It's been a while since I played it too, but it was actually one of the few
have you
card
played
games.
Dutch Blitz?
No, but if
Okay,
we're
it's-
just
it's
making up
basically the
names,
same
there's
thing.
one that's
No,
called
it's not.
Farkle. That's pretty fun.
It's the Yagasabi apple of the card game. No, it's like it's not quite solitaire, but it kind of has some of those same properties. But it's one of those, you have like 3 stacks of cards and you're trying to get, what was it, Cherry? I think you had to get like a full suit. But anyway,
Okay.
I don't remember how it all went, but that's one of the few card games. I learned how to play a card game instead of learning educational things, basically. So I actually got quite good at that. Haven't played it since, but that was actually kind of fun. I don't know how to do like poker or pinochle or all those games.
I did
you know.
Texas Hold'em when I was in Texas.
Oh.
I hope so.
Well, no, I realized that sentence sounds weird when I said it, but it was when I was living in Texas and I learned how to play that. I actually got pretty good. We stayed up till about 4 a.m.
Oh yeah.
Playing that. And I realized during that time, I was like, oh, poker is addicting.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
I was like,
No limit.
let's still play. And we weren't playing for money. Like, this was just for fun. The guy that we were playing with, he had got this really nice, like, poker set, shiny chips and everything. Like, so it was all legit. Nobody lost any money. But even just playing just with your chips, with the unlimited
Yeah.
funds that we, pretended to have,
Sure.
it was about 4:30 or so in the morning.
Yeah.
We're like, guys, we need to go to bed. Like,
Yeah.
why are we still up? We have stuff to do tomorrow. We were like,
It was at.
but we were like,
that
okay,
gambler.
but
Got
just
that
just one more game, one more game,
round.
we'll go
Yeah.
to bed. Like, that's, and I was like,
Got
wow,
that gambler mentality.
I
Gotta know
understand.
when to walk away.
That's
Yeah,
right.
we eventually did, but yeah, I understood that day when we were, when we saw the sun rising, and we're like, crap, guys.
Yeah, I was in a little illegal poker tournament or something that was just in the garage of my neighbor.
Oh, that don't sound shady at all.
Well, that's kind of what I was saying, because he was
Smoking
like, "Hey,
cigars.
you want to play? We're gonna do a Texas No Limit Hold'em. I don't know the quite term. I know how to play the game, but
Yeah, Texas No Limit Hold'em is not how it goes. but-
well, Texas Hold'em, no, but
We
there's
know
no
what you're-
limits.
yeah, we know what
You
you
could go
meant.
all in at any time that you want, like on your first hand, like I'm all in, that sort of thing. Well, anyway, I was at a table, because there were several tables that when I went over there were 2 tables in the house, 2 tables in the garage, and I was like, this is an
This is
illegal,
legit.
yeah, this is an illegal
Oh.
casino. What was going on?
It's like a speakeasy. You come
Yeah.
in with your flappers and then
Exactly. And I was like, I don't know. Well, I'll play. And anyway, I was at a table and I bluffed a guy on a hand going all, or I matched what he had, and he backed out. And I did not have it. So I won his chips, but somebody else actually won the pot, or I can't remember how this went, but it was in the same hand, and he backed out, but then he realized that he had the better hand, and he lost it. He was
Oh,
pissed, and I'm like, sorry, man.
that's the name of the game,
That's
Sonny boy.
exactly. Yeah. So yeah,
See.
that gambling, that little, yeah, it can be pretty
They
intense.
start you off young. You go to
Chuck E. Cheese.
Chuck E. Cheese or
That's
something.
right.
Or
Casinos
All
with
Star
pizza.
Sports. You get all your tickets and your prize.
Yeah.
And then the next day you're in the gambling casino.
But bringing it back to board games, one of
Yeah.
the things that I do remember, and this actually happened recently within the past couple of years, when I was visiting in Topeka and I had an old friend over. We had a terrible thunderstorm. Power went out. And I mean, it's raining cats and dogs, so he can't really like leave. So we busted out
board games.
and I think we were playing Electronic Battleship, and we were just having a great time. At that time, late 30s, 2 late 30s men playing Electronic
sound like Battleship.
Exactly.
When you forget how
but it was
fun it is.
fun, yeah. And it was a good
See
memory.
you in the next thunderstorm.
That's right. And we'll do it again. Yeah, of course. We'll do it again.
I think that's probably one of the many reasons why board game stuff like that is making a really big comeback.
Yeah.
because
Especially after COVID last year, because it brought a forced sense of togetherness and finding entertainment. You can only watch so much Netflix in a day where you're just like, okay, your eyeballs glazed over, I need to do something else.
Right. And there's a lot of new creative games that are card based, that are board games, that some of them like take place in like a 3D kind of like board space and things like that.
Yeah, which is pretty cool. Well, and then kind of along the lines talking about you entertaining yourself and stuff. Have you guys ever created your own board game or card
That's
game
a
before?
great question. Yes, I have.
Ooh.
It's called Holy Smokes, That's Bananas. And it's about you're a wrestler, like a professional wrestler.
Ooh, a wrestling
And
card
the,
game.
The game takes place around an arena. And then there's like different areas, like it's a lot of fun.
So you need to box this up and sell it, man.
We need to have a double stuffed game night.
Well, Dan and I we've been talking about this. This goes back years, because he's got an idea for a game too, and we're like, we should definitely like have like a collaborative, and make these try them out, just try them out and see if they're going to be good games. I don't know, worth playing.
Yeah.
But in my mind, it's fantastic. I've played it several
That'd be
times.
interesting. Yeah, me and a guy I went to college with, we created a game.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'll say I designed it.
Okay.
And I think he created the rules for it. It was like
Okay.
it was like a traffic related game where it was like the board game was like
Don't hit homeless people at night.
yes,
Before your wedding
As
day.
a callback to a previous episode, yeah.
it was called Legs and Shopping Carts.
That's right.
It's like the Chutes and Ladders.
Don't
for
go to
wedding.
jail for real.
It's like Don't Wake Daddy. The old Milton Bradley game is like Don't Hit Me.
Yeah.
But it was some kind of traffic game. So we had the board game shaped like a street with sidewalks and stuff. And then you would have your little characters. I forgot. I think it was dice. You would roll the dice, whatever you go, however many.
Oh, okay.
And then you would hit either a red light, yellow light, or green light.
Okay.
That's what the cards would be. If you hit a red light, get a red card. It's like you went over the speed limit, you get a ticket. Or if it's a yellow, because yellow is yield, it's like you get off with a warning, but you have to go back 2 points. And then of course, if you get green, you get to advance however many. And that's about all I remember from that. But that was kind of a cool card game. It made no sense, but it was.
But
it
that's
was a
the
game.
fun part, yeah.
Yeah.
And there definitely is a resurgence in that, and I know that I believe that it's part of curriculum too, like in STEM, like to
It's a good brain activity.
Yeah,
stuff,
yeah.
I think I did it in first grade. Make my own game.
Yeah,
Get
yeah.
Partner with someone. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this has been a fun topic to talk about, and I'm going to hand it over to Sarah to tell you how you can find out more about our other topics that we talk about.
Yeah, so if you want to listen to all of our episodes, just go to doublestuffpod.com. All of our more recent episodes are on all the different podcast platforms, so listen to us there. You can check us out on our social media platforms, so on Facebook and Instagram at Double Stuff Podcast, and on Twitter at Double Stuff P, and that's the letter P.
Sorry.
Cop out.